Hello YouTube. This is the first in a series of videos of what I got at the Blade Show. I didn't get a lot this year, but what I did get was some, I think some of my grail knives, as the younger people say these days, and certainly some that one in particular I didn't even know about, and turned out to be just a wonderful knife. Just was a happy accident. One that I thought I never would have. Actually, two of those, and a couple that were gifts from some people, and we'll go over those. But we're going to start, excuse me, with this one. And as you can see by the box in the back, it's a Rockstead. And it's a Rockstead Higo, and it's expensive. I'll be the first to admit that. So we're going to do an in-depth interview, and as we do it, I'm going to try to explain why I think knives like this, or some of the other ones that people get that are, you know, even higher dollar than this, why they could be worth what you pay for them. I had a collector friend of mine tell me one time, and I've heard it on TV, I've seen it a million other places, is never collect things for investment value. Collect what you like. Because prices go up, they go down, but if you collect what you like, you'll always have something that'll have intrinsic value to you. And this was just one of those knives, one of those companies. I saw them when they first started out years ago, and the guy would cut all the, you know, the big rope and just cut after cut after cut, and slamming the thing into bamboo, and it's still holding an edge, and it was something to see. So let's go over this one in depth, and as we're doing it, I think some of the reasons I like this particular knife will come out. It's the Rockstead Higo, and this particular one is in ZDP-189, and it is, I'll look on my little paper here for you, 66.5 Rockwell. And the reason we know that, if you look right here, I'll try to get this to show, but right down here we can see the Rockwell testing mark. And Rockstead tests all of these individually so that you know exactly what your particular knife is. So it's quite high. The blade is convex ground, pretty much a zero grind, and from all the tests I've seen of these on TV and all the slamming and banging and everything that the company does with them, I don't think that edge durability is an issue at all. I'm sure you could abuse it, tear it up like you could anything else, but I don't think in any kind of normal use that you would hurt this. They basically have it in a the diagram here that goes with it and tells all about the knife, gives the specifications. The ZDP, which is right here, basically is a sword grind, same as a samurai sword, which was one of the things that attracted me to it. I've always thought that was pretty cool. And it tells you when the knife was made, when you bought it, just everything about it. Blade steel, and they, in this particular one, they offer DLT 571. I have no idea what that blade steel is. They offer XR-7. The scale material is Duraluminum, which is extremely tough It is coated with aluminite in black and is also extremely durable, or has been up to this point. One of the things I like about this, there's a Japanese concept called shibumi, and I think the best way to describe that concept is beauty through simplicity. And this knife has that. I made a comment on one of Smoke Eater's videos. If you look at the pattern on the handle, it's just a very classical Japanese wave pattern, and it's something you almost wouldn't notice because it's so understated, but when you really take a second and look at it, it's really nice. Again, we talked about the Rockwell testing. A little detail up here on the nail neck. The blade is polished absolutely to perfection on both sides. Those of you that know me know I'm a fool for polishing anyway, and I have pretty high standards on it, and it's flawless. I couldn't do any better. Don't know if I could do this good. The lock, now since we've got a knife blade here that's almost 67 Rockwell, if you just left the duraluminum, it would wear in short order. So if you look right here, you will see that there's a little screw, and there is an L-shaped clip that it goes into, and there is a 61 Rockwell hardened steel clip or end that screws onto that. So you could always, if that wears some, that would be the thing that would wear, and you could replace it. So that's a nice touch. The pocket clip, for those that like such things, is very strong. It's unobtrusive. It only bothers me mildly, which is saying something by my standards. I hate pocket clips, and when everyone was here for the Blade show, they were laughing at me because as they were looking through some of my knives, and none of them had a pocket clip on them. I haven't made up my mind yet whether this one will stay or not, but we'll see about that. It's furnished inside the box there with a tool to tighten up these screws. And I say tighten them up because one thing that I noticed was that, let's see if we can get this to stay there. If you look at the warranty here, it has a limited lifetime warranty and tells you what you can do, you know, what's covered, what's not covered. It tells you that it's not covered if you don't do your normal, normal wear isn't covered, damage caused by abuse or failure to perform normal maintenance, etc. Right here, this is interesting to me. Disassembly will void warranty. That's, I guess they don't want you to take it apart to clean it or anything. Now, I don't know if that's because of the way if the tolerances are so tight on that, or, they're afraid that if they have a ball bearing set up in there, I can't tell you that, it'll fall out. But anyway, it will void your warranty. Gives you complete maintenance here of what you should do. And some things are built like a Rolex, like a Ferrari, like a, Germany has a Porsche. Britain has a DB7, Rolex watches, on and on, and I think this kind of falls into that category. It's a very simple knife, but it is extremely well executed. The tolerances on it are just perfect. They're there's no movement. It gives new meaning to the term rock solid. And when you close it, if I could get it right down here, listen to this detent when it clicks in. I mean, it's just, it goes right to that spot, and then as soon as that detent hits, it's in there and it's not going to move. Yeah, just perfect. No chance that that's going to flop open on you. The blade tip, it's been engineered so that the blade tip is far enough down in the handle that you're not going to spear yourself if you decide to use the pocket clip and hold it on there with that onto your pants. And overall, I think it's, for me at least, it's half art object, all knife, and I really like it. Comes in a nice balsa wood box and a sleeve along with the paperwork. I'll be doing a review of all the knives, as I said, and once I get all these tabletops done, there'll be actual usage of this and all the rest. It's not going to just sit. I've waited too long to get one, so. And for other reasons, trust me, this knife will be tested and carried. But this was one that I think out of all the knives that I've ever seen, all the folders at least, this was the guy right here that I've always wanted to have. I've looked at several of the Rocksteads, and there's a lot of them that I like, but once I sat there for a while and handled them, I actually originally selected a different model, and the poor man had it all set up, written up, and ready to go, and I said, can I change my mind? Because this one just talked to me, and so this is what I ended up with. But we'll see how it works, how that blade holds up, and just how good our ZDP-189 at 67 Rockwell is going to be. Everything else on it, as I said, is really, it's just really put together like a Japanese watch, if you will, or a Rolex or whatever. There's just no flaws on it. Serial numbered, all the stuff you'd kind of expect. So that's it for this review, and up next we will have one that I didn't even know existed, and that is a Bastinelli that Tough Thumbs brought one down here. It's his work knife. It was a little bit dull, so I just, put a good working edge on it, and the more I handled it, the more I used it, the more I liked it. And it came up that he Mr. Bastinelli was at the show and actually had a few, so I managed to grab one, which is a good thing, because in looking online, everybody says sold out, so I was pretty glad to get it. But we'll review that one next, and then we got a couple fun ones, and once all these tabletops are done, then we'll get out and start whacking and chopping and cutting and carving and just see how these things perform. I can tell you that I've used this one a little bit already, and it's just a blast to use it. It's one of those knives that when you put it in your hand, it's just part of your hand, as is the Bastinelli, which has a whole lot of good design features, and I have a lot of respect for him as a designer, and we'll show you why. So take it easy, YouTube, and we'll talk to you later.